Round 4 of the FIA World Endurance Championship, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and this one is even more special than all the others. This is the centenary of the world's greatest endurance motor race, and the celebrations started early and hard. Tens of thousands of fans greeting the teams and drivers at the scrutineering and drivers' parade in the centre of the city. And at the circuit itself, the party continued. 325,000 fans packed into the historic venue, and to entertain them before the race, a parade of more than 50 Le Mans winners from the last century. And with the famous cars, equally famous drivers who have made this race their own. Pre-race party, music, lights, a firework display and a drone show, showing just what a part of motoring history Le Mans has played. The drivers might have been trying to get some sleep before the race, the fans not so much. This one had been a long time coming, a long time in the planning, and the atmosphere was clearly going to be extra special. Race day. After searing heat in the preceding week through test day, testing and qualifying, it was damp. Light rain in the air, and immediately everybody's minds turned to the main event.
I will stand tall. This deep desire.
Celebration of racing and sporting history on the grid, and a great opportunity to renew old friendships and acquaintances. But as the clock ticked towards 4 o'clock in the afternoon, all thoughts turned to the race. Among the big stories, the return to the top class of Ferrari. Even their Formula One star Charles Leclerc was among the admirers.
When you hear that sound, when you hear the roar, when the lights go out and the crowd wants more, hear it all get loud. Fire in my veins as the clock is ticking down. It's game time now. Let's go.
On pole in the GTE Am class Corvette racing, Ben Keating producing phenomenal pace in the Hypercar. In the LMP2 category, it was a first Le Mans pole for IDEX Sport. Paul-Luc Chatin setting the lap and starting the race. At the sharp end of the grid, Toyota's string of poles at Le Mans was finally brought to an end. It was the number 50 Ferrari, celebrating half a century since the Scuderia was last here, that set the pole, courtesy of Antonio Fuoco. The unique centenary trophy, delivered to the grid in a replica of the 1923 winning Senna Ewaka by the most successful driver in Le Mans history, Tom Christensen. With more than 700 team members and drivers on the grid, it was clear that this centenary race was going to be epic. The French national flag, the tricolore, delivered as is now traditional by the army from the air. And it would be NBA superstar LeBron James towering over the rest of the grid who would have the honour of starting this historic race. Few sporting events have such history, and the theatre to celebrate the centenary reflected that. But above all else, this is the most brutal test of man and machine, and all of that was still to come. Special Le Mans car liveries, unique Le Mans helmet liveries, an exaggerated sense of anticipation. As the hypercar class truly comes of age, 62 car engines fired up. The Patrouille de France, the national display team, flew overhead, and the clock counted ominously towards 4 p.m. The final formation lap. Battle lines were drawn, and right now, everyone was a winner. Down the Mulsanne straight they go for the final time then, behind the safety car. Last formation lap, weaving to bring heat into the slick tyres. Everybody on slicks. The hypercar class with a choice of soft, medium or hard, probably mediums in these conditions. As Ferrari pace the field to the front, we are ready to go racing. Ferrari leads the 62 car field into the centenary Le Mans. Poleman Nicholas Nielsen with his teammate James Collado tucking in behind. The Toyota trying for something. Lock up from the 75 Porsche. That's Felipe Nasser. One of the Peugeots and the number 3 Cadillac jumped the chicane in avoidance. LMP2 field is coming through, and look at the lead already. Nick Nielsen pulling away from James Collado. Toyotas in 3rd and 4th. That's Sebastian Buemi and Mike Conway. They started 3rd and 5th. There's the lock-up as the Porsche gets a little bit overexcited on cold tyres. Fortunately, there was a touch with the number 2, and he hit the Peugeot. Hopefully no long-term damage. Into the first chicane. It is pretty wet here. This is where the rain is on the Mulsanne straight, and you can see cars struggling to get slowed down. They're having to jump the chicane. And the Toyotas 2nd and 3rd. Oh no, in the background, that is the Action Express Cadillac into the barriers. Debris in the LMP2 field. They're going left, right and centre, trying to avoid trouble. On board with Jack Aitken in the Cadillac into the first chicane. Number 3, Sebastian Bourdais, the sister car alongside, side by side as they come back out onto the Mulsanne straight. It snaps away and viciously into the barriers. What a disastrous start for the Action Express team and for Jack Aitken. Well, he's dragging that back to the pit lane. Meanwhile, here come the Toyotas. Sebastian Buemi, all fired up, takes the lead of the race from the pole sitter Nick Nielsen as they come down into Indianapolis. Applause from the Toyota team. And work will begin at 3:11, the Action Express Caddy team. This could be a long race for them. With the safety car out, time to make some adjustments to set up, maybe a change of tyres, maybe a top up with fuel, and a driver change as well at one of the cool racing cars. Here's one of the pair of Alpines, and this is 38. Jota's, Hertz Team Jota, privately run Porsche, the first 963 in private hands at Le Mans. They have got a stellar driver lineup. That car could be a contender. Lots of work to do in race control. There is Jack Aitken. It'll take a while to console him. Back to green flag racing. It's Sebastian Buemi in the red and white Toyota, then the first of the Ferraris, Nick Nielsen, Mike Conway the second Toyota, and then the second Ferrari of James Collado. We've got the first Porsche, Felipe Nasser, the 75 car with the rainbow colours on it, celebrating Porsche's 75th anniversary. And he is hot on the heels of the lead pair of Toyotas and Ferraris. Middle of the pack in the GTE Am class, frantic action. Side by side, Ferrari racing down the Mulsanne straight. Bone dry here, but the slicks are a problem when they get into the wet weather patches. The Porsche is Harry Tincknell moving up the order, trying to insert one of 4 Proton-run Porsches into the top half dozen, getting by the JMW Ferrari, the yellow and black car, starting its 7th consecutive Le Mans. Toyota have the upper hand at the moment early in the race. The first quarter of an hour is definitely going their way. Sebastian Buemi leads and Mike Conway moves up into second. What has happened to the pace of the Ferraris? Toyota are excited with the way that the race has started already. Back in the pack, number 6 and number 5 Porsches, both run by Roger Penske's operation. Lawrence Vantor in the 6 car trying to make up a place on teammate Michael Christensen. Does he get through on the inside? Just about. Christensen may have fought that too long.
Toyota is on soft, they will struggle with tires, start to put some pressure on them. We want to put some pressure on Toyota, they are on soft, they start to struggle.
Copy, I have no behind.
Well, that explains the early pace of the Toyota, but the high track temperatures are not going to help the life of the soft tire. Mike Conway's in trouble. Here comes Nicholas Nielsen, and right behind him, the 51 car, James Collado, has been trying to get by as well for second place into the Mulsanne corner. Nielsen on the inside, through he goes.
Alpha 611, Alpha 611. Seb is looking after the tires. You're doing a good job.
Sebastian Buemi clearing off in front. Mike Conway trying to hold off the rest. First of numerous pit stops. In comes the number 50 Ferrari.
Only fuel, only fuel.
The Ferraris with the yellow M, they are on medium tyres. The Toyotas, the team have spotted, are on the soft. And you can see already Mike Conway with a queue of cars behind him. Past goes James Collado. Next up, 3 Porsches in a row, then the first of the Cadillacs. On board with Felipe Nasser. And he too will want to get by the Toyota if possible. Porsche the brand with more wins here than anybody else, and they would dearly love to add to that with the new 963 on its debut. But they're going to have to beat Toyota. 5 consecutive wins here at Le Mans for Toyota. They're going to have to beat Ferrari and Cadillac and Glickenhaus and Peugeot and Van Wall. It's not going to be easy. Whoever comes out on top in this race will know they've taken a big win. Number 8 Toyota in the pits for service and the correct tyres. 51 Ferrari leading from the 6 and 5 Porsche. And now James Collado in the pits as the race leader at Le Mans. 51 under pressure, James Collado in 4th place. Behind him, the blue-nosed caddy of Earl Bamber, the number 2 car, really finding speed now. Former race winner here at Le Mans, Earl Bamber, one with Porsche. Now he's holding off 2 Porsches behind him. Number 6 car and 75 right in his slipstream, and coming up from behind the number 7 car, Mike Conway. Look at the red and white Toyota. He moves up to 7th place. Now they've got the correct tyres on for the temperature of the track. They look a little more competent. Nicky Katzberg in the pits. This is the pole sitter in GTE Am, coming in from 3rd place. The team believe it's got a duff damper on the left front corner, and that may take a while to change. Trouble at the Dunlop chicane, the first corner. This is Rodrigo Sales, the Asian Le Mans Series champion in the 14 Nielsen car, with the Cadillac behind. Oh, and just goes off on his own. There was no contact. Maybe he was distracted by the faster cars coming round him. Early end to Nielsen's race.
Down service, maximum push, full service. Fuel, driver change, and tires. Driver change.
Driver change in the 50 Ferrari that started from pole position. The second place Cadillac number 3 is in as well. In slides Miguel Molina. No driver change. Le Mans resident Sebastian Bourdais stays aboard Caddy number 3, and a great pit stop. They have jumped the Ferrari in the pit lane. Ferrari's James Collado leads at Le Mans on the car's debut. He said that the car has absolutely come alive here at Le Mans, and that is just what the team were hoping for. 21 Ferrari AF Corsa, they're in trouble. That's the Belgian driver Ulysse de Pauw from 16th in the GTE Am class. And there is a field of wreckage. What has happened here? The number 3 Cadillac spun. Was he hit from behind? It looks like it. Is that what happened to the 21 Ferrari? Damaged number 3 Cadillac of Sebastian Bourdais heading to the team for work. It may not be the Frenchman's race after all. Onto the dolly wheels and back into the garage. Bourdais opens the door. This won't be a short stop.
It was very confusing, to be honest. The displays inside, they kind of start lagging. They're switching information, and you don't really know what to do. And I think we just kind of creating the monster a little bit, which is a shame because you end up paying the price for something that's none of your fault.
Plenty of action in the Hypercar class behind the race-leading Toyota. The Hertz team chose to the gold car, then the battle for third. Down the inside comes the Ferrari. That's a great move. Goes by the number 6 Porsche. There's an errant LMP2 car in there, but this is a massive Hypercar battle. Number 7 Toyota coming through as well. Here's a replay from on board. Across the white line. Lawrence Vantor into the pit lane. He will hand over to teammate Kevin Est. Number 6 Porsche Penske car coming in from 4th place. But this is a tightly packed bunch of cars. Number 7 Toyota down in 11th. Oh, trouble at Terre Rouge onto the Mulsanne straight. What's that that's flown up in the air? Just some bodywork. That is the 77 Proton Competition Porsche. And that's Mikkel Pedersen losing a wheel. Freddie Lubin in the number 22 United Autosports LMP2 car. Rain arriving. Is that what caused the issue? Battle for third place into the first corner. Yiffy in the gold Hertz Team Jota Porsche around the outside. Antonio Giovinazzi in the 51 Ferrari with grip to spare. Made that look straightforward, but it is a bold move from the Ferrari driver. Yiffy coming under pressure once more, this time from another Porsche. It's the 75 car, Felipe Nasser. He goes the long way round the outside. The Chinese driver is struggling. And here comes the Peugeot, the 94 car, looking to take 5th place away from him. And he's doing it. Down the straight, right by he goes. The Peugeot really coming into its own on this track. That car made its debut in Monza last July. It has been unconvincing ever since, but now look at it in mixed conditions. It's just searing up the order. Fantastic stuff from the 94 Peugeot. Gustavo Menezes will be enjoying that, and he's not the only one either. Menezes by the Ferrari. He's on a podium position spot at the moment, up to 3rd place. Is this weather going to really help Peugeot? Their boss thinks it might. Oh, trouble. That's the 709 Glickenhaus, Esteban Gutierrez. It's very wet at the top of the Porsche curbs, and there is the number 3 Caddy. And behind it, the GR Racing Porsche. The Cadillac misses everything. The Porsche looks like he's okay. No! Clatters the barriers. That is absolutely canoeing weather. Wow, unbelievable scenes here. Cars going off everywhere as they come into the Porsche curves, and the tiniest clip on the Glickenhaus there as the Ferrari went by. Look at this from on board in the caddy. Drivers absolutely helpless as the deep water removes the tyre from the road.
A lot of the track is good, but from chicane 1 until Bologna, it's dangerous. It's very dangerous because there's zero visibility from chicane 1 to Bologna.
Copy.
Safety car is out. In fact, at Le Mans, 3 safety cars are out to bring the race under control. Pit stop for Peugeot, going on to slicks. Porsche number 5, also with the slick tyres ready. It looks as though most of the track is dry enough. The S there for the softest compound, and that is for the coolest track temperatures, and the rain will have brought the track surface temperature right down. A little over 20 degrees now compared to nearly 40 at the start of the race. Third place car is in, the number 50 Ferrari. Ferrari third and fourth, Peugeot still leading from Hertz Team Jota. In the gravel, the Peugeot 93, that's Jean-Eric Verne, and that is down at Mulsanne corner. Comes in on the racing line, but that's pretty slippery, and around he goes at almost walking pace. Does the number 5 Porsche get through unscathed? Yes, it does, but Verne is beached in the gravel. The ignominious lift out of the gravel, but Jean-Eric Verne will be able to rejoin the race. Toyota pitting just as the safety car has been pulled back in. That's a tactical error from the champions. And out front, the 94 Peugeot being chased by the 75 Porsche, and then the Hertz Team Jota, the gold car of Yiffy, leading this queue. Here's the number 2 Cadillac trying to move up the order. Yiffy already on the tail of the race-leading Peugeot, flashing his lights to get through, and it's 3 wide behind onto the Mulsanne straight. The number 2 Cadillac, the blue nose, is now up to third, but here come the Ferraris using the slipstream to go by, and it looks as though there's a challenge for the lead. There is as well. Yiffy going the long way around the outside into the first chicane. Don't forget, after rain, that's been treacherous so far, and the number 5 Porsche holds on. 51 Ferrari jumps the curbs, comes back on behind, has lost ground though, and the 50 car trying to get through, but the number 2 Cadillac has dropped to the back of this little bunch as Hertz Team Jota's Yiffy leads the race, and the Ferraris lean on each other. Ignore the first Peugeot, that's the lap car of Jean-Eric Verne. Look at the battle behind. Yiffy in the gold Jota car, and alongside him Gustavo Menezes, side by side. That is the lead battle. Dane Cameron's Porsche is right there as well with the white nose. Yiffy gets his nose back in front. Looking down the inside, Menezes. Looking around the outside is Cameron. The Porsches have both got the speed. It's Porsche 1-2. Hertz Team Jota and Porsche Penske number 5. Oh, trouble at the second chicane. This is Julien Canal spinning out in the greasy conditions. Right behind the GTE Am, Kessel Racing Ferrari runs out wide over the crown of the road. The tail drops away. Driver and tyre change for the number 4 Peugeot, and a full tank of fuel as it heads back into action, off wets and on to soft tyres. They're not the only ones to be making that choice either. The weather so changeable, catching people out all over the place.
Conditions got extremely tricky, extremely quick. At one point it was hard to stay on the track at 40 kilometers an hour, so they did the absolute right thing to call the safety car. We went to rains, to the wet tires at the perfect time, and managed to put ourselves in a really good position. Obviously, if I could go back, I would have probably been a little bit less safe and called for slicks earlier.
Trouble for Kevin Esch, the number 6 Porsche Penske. Well, that car with a right rear puncture. And look at this. How greasy is this track? For most of it, slicks are great. Here at the first chicane, they are a lottery. Good job by Kevin Escher to get the Porsche back relatively quickly and unharmed. It's going to be a driver change, and there will be remedial work required at the back. That's the race leader. That is the Porsche Curves, and that is the Hertz Team Jota Porsche 963 of Yiffy Yi. Look at this, just runs a fraction offline, and that's all it takes on the slippery surface. The race leader, he'd built up a 10-second lead, and now there will be a lot of work to do at Jota. The weather is turning this Le Mans 24 Hours into a real lottery. Nick Tandy leads in the 75 Porsche. Here is the battle for second. Loic Duval in the 94 Peugeot. And around the outside comes Brendan Hartley. What a huge move from the Kiwi in the number 8 Toyota. Toyota coming back into the frame once more. This team is so experienced. It's the third year running their hypercar. And there is more trouble for Penske Porsche. That's Dane Cameron, number 5 car, in the top 8. But going very slowly on the track. Has he been off and hit something? Or has he got a mechanical problem? He's stuck in first gear, barely 3,000 RPM. Here is the crowd favourite. Smiles every lap for the drivers of the Hendrick Motorsports Chevy Camaro. The Garage 56 entry celebrating 75 years of NASCAR. Night's arrived, and so again has the rain, and this will shake everything up. All trouble at the chicane. That's the 28 Jota. That's the race leader in LMP2, Oliver Rasmussen. Damage on the right front corner. Rasmussen and the 23 United car. He was the innocent party. Got tagged into a spin and into the barriers. New race leader, Kuba Śmiechowski, in the Inter-Europol car. Standard NASCAR pit stop for the Chevy Camaro. Single jack being used on either side. And yes, they still have to climb in and out through the driver's window. There are no doors on this car.
Le Mans special anyway, but to be the 100th year and we've got a NASCAR stock car here was just hilarious, really. But it's definitely a fan's favourite. It's definitely my favourite. But no, it's a great atmosphere. It's been a manic race. The weather's been so random, and it's made for definitely a classic. From a driver's point of view, it's tough out there, though. There's a lot of incidents, and with the changing conditions, it makes it really difficult.
Cars off. That is the Jota Porsche. Finding some terra firma. This is the beginning of the Porsche curves, and that is one of the Ferraris as well. That looks like the number 50 car. Cars going off everywhere. Very wet again. JMW Ferrari in the barriers. 9 from Prema, 22 United Autosport car. They have been off as well, and that is down at Indianapolis. Yellows are being thrown there. Slow zones around the track. Oh, trouble! Somebody couldn't slow down, and that's 923 Racing Team Turkey. That was a big impact. On board with Richard Westbrook in the number 2 Cadillac. High intensity rear lights. You heard it all go silent as he slid across the water and nearly hit the number 24 NASCAR Chevy. Lucky escape. When you're a passenger in the car, you are helpless to do much about it.
Okay, Richard, question?
Yeah, I just can't see with this wiper. It's so dangerous.
Copy that. We are trying.
More trouble for 75, Mathieu Jaminet this time at the side of the road. This has not been a good race for Roger Penske's Porsche team. Jaminet's glasses look like they're misting up in the car as well. Roger Penske, the captain, not looking excited. Nighttime festivities continue into the race, and so does the attrition. Esteban Guerrieri looping round at the beginning of the S's, and that will require a tractor to move it. Alessandro Pierguidi through the gravel on the racetrack down at Mulsanne Corner. Race leader for Ferrari. Peugeot in second, Toyota in third, a Cadillac in fifth, and the best Porsches down at the tail of the top 10. John Elkann, the Ferrari boss, with a Peugeot cap on, and there's the reason. Peugeot boss Carlos Tavares himself, a former racing driver. He's in the garage, swapping banter. Replay here of the first chicane. Race leader, the 51 Ferrari, Alessandro Pierguidi. Car spinning in front of him, headlights facing him. He spins in avoidance. Does he avoid everything? Well, everything but the gravel. He's stuck in the first chicane. Alessandro Pierguidi being craned back to terra firma. But the Ferrari has dropped way down the order. Peugeot lead after 1/3 race distance, 8 hours, but Ferrari, Toyota and Porsche and Cadillac are still in the hunt. Into Europol, leading in LMP2, the tiny team from Poland, Cool Racing leading the Pro-Am class, and it is Project One, the T-Rex Porsche, leading in GTE Am from the Iron Dames. And 9 cars have already retired in 8 hours. That is a high rate of attrition. Trouble for Louis Pret in the JMW Motorsport Ferrari, the veteran chassis that has started 7 Le Mans 24-hour races. He's not alone. That's the number 7 Toyota. Now what's happened here? Coming into a slowdown, the Ferrari's in the air. There are cars everywhere. There's an LMP2 car there on board with the Toyota. Look at the Ferrari, comes over the top of the Toyota. Now, who else is involved? This is the Alpine 35. And that is a 4-car pileup, and the number 7 Toyota was in the thick of it.
Okay, well, you have to try to start the engine, What happened? Can you tell us more?
When I start the engine, car is not long at all. There's no chance to run.
Knowledge? We have to try to start the engine. The only way to come back is try to use the engine. Just try to burn out, try everything. We have to use the engine. We don't have enough sock to come back with the front motor. It's too early. The only way is to come back with the engine. Do what you can.
Sock, state of charge. Not enough charge in the battery for the Toyota to come back. It is stuck on the track. Here is Mimo Rojas, the 35 Alpine, and that was the car that went down the right side of the Toyota. Kamui Kobayashi leaps away. Red lights are on. The Toyota could be live, and that is the end of its race. Back to green flag racing. Nico Müller leading the race in the 94 Peugeot. Number 3 Cadillac behind, trying to unlap itself. There are 2 or 3 lapped cars in the queue. The second car on the road is about 5 back, and that is the Toyota, car number 8, just going through the shot there. Well, this is going to be tough in the dark for Nico Müller. Here comes Ryo Hirakawa, slices by, and that is the Toyota moving into the lead. So the lap cars have got by the 94 Peugeot, and so has Hirakawa. More Porsche woes. This is the number 5 car. Push back into the pit lane, nose comes off. This might be a long job.
We'll take hybrid off, ignition off, and we are looking at a water leak.
Battle for 3rd place. Antonio Fuoco on our right as we ride with Alessandro Pierguidi in the deep night at Le Mans. Just look how much of the road these headlights illuminate at nearly 200 miles an hour. Down into Mulsanne corner, he's gone by, he's up to third. This is the view from Fuoco. Didn't contest it too hard. Trouble for the 63 Premacar. This is Danny Kvyat. Oh, loops it around. And again, the Porsche curves claim another victim. And look at that right rear wheel. That's the end of that car's race. He's going nowhere. Full course yellow and a chance for the number 8 Toyota to duck into the pits. Now, as everybody else on track is going around at 80 kilometers an hour, they wave off the driver change. You saw Sebastian Buemi in the background. There he is with his helmet in front of the closed doors of number 7. He was ready to get in. But Ryo Hirakawa stays in the car. 50 Ferrari in from third place. They too are taking a chance at making a pit stop under full course yellow. This is going to be more than standard service though. The car being pushed back into the garage. Is this the first crack in Ferrari's armour?
We need to look for a leak.
That is heartbreaking for the pole sitting car. Lead battle, Sebastian Buemi now right with Nico Muller's Peugeot. The 94 car is in his sights. Rushing down to Indianapolis. This has been a good passing place for the Peugeots early in the race. Headlights pull out, here he goes in the darkness on a slightly damp track. Buemi sweeps by, takes the lead away from Nico Muller. Trouble in the Ford chicane. Who's that? That's the number 3 Cadillac. And what happens here, coming in to the left-right sequence, contact with, it looks like an LMP2 car. More trouble at the first chicane again. This is Gustavo Menezes in the Peugeot, and that's a big impact. Look at the way it's ripped the bodywork off the car. Oh dear. The car that was leading in all sorts of trouble now, and that is going to be costly. It's going to take him a while to get back. The team getting ready for Gustavo Menezes. Here he comes. That is wrecked. Now, will we see that car come out of the garage again? That is a very big question for this team.
23:57.00. Slow zone 3 and 23:57.00.
All action, all Polish battle here. Polish driver Robert Kubica leading LMP2 for Team WRT. Polish team into Europol with Swiss driver Fabio Scherer. Now he's looking to make a move on the ex-Grand Prix ace. Looking to go around the outside. Scherer, that's a good move to take the lead. Trouble down at Indianapolis, and this is the number 6 Porsche Penske 963. Hits the barriers. Does he get out to the gravel? Yeah, bit of rally crossing there. Look, he came from a long way off. Good save.
Box
box for fuel and front end. You stay in the car.
Okay, mate. Box the slap, driver change.
Number 8 Toyota still chasing the setup of the car, still trying to work on more grip at the front end as the temperatures change. James Collade taking over from his teammate Alessandro Pierguidi. The two of them 3-time GTE World Champions. And now battling for the lead here as dawn arrives at Le Mans. Still a massive distance to go, 8.5 hours, but the Ferrari heads back out of the pit lane ahead of the Toyota. They are winning the battle in the pit lane at the moment, as well as on the track.
To be honest, I was just pushing like hell, trying to catch the Toyota. I've been unlucky in the slow zone, so I had to push a lot to close the gap. Lap by lap, I was getting smaller and smaller, and then the guys make an amazing job in the pit stop, and we went out in the lead. But it's still very long, the race. But I'm happy with the car. We are performing very well. We are still really young, and let's keep going.
Back with Kevin Estre in the number 6 Porsche Penske Motorsport car. Back underway and still in 5th place. Oh, trouble! Big high speed off. And he's in the barriers. The tarmac did not save him.
Kevin, we see some damage to the underfloor. Okay, we try to continue, just take caution.
Well, that might have been a slightly rash attempt at a pass by Kevin Estre. Oh, yes, on the LMP2 car. That could have been a real disaster. Estre in the pit lane, car into the garage. This is not a happy weekend for the Penske Porsche team. LMP2 lead battle, Jakub Szymanowski in the yellow and green into Europol car and down the inside. Team WRT come back at him. Oh, and that's the DKR engineering car getting it all at 6s and 7s. What a great all-Polish battle.
We are fighting for the victory. I can't believe that this is happening. I have no words to describe what I'm living, but yeah, we need to keep calm. We need to keep doing the job as we've been doing until the beginning. And yeah, focus, easy, no curves, no crazy moments, and just push.
Trouble at Indianapolis. Olivier Plat dropping wheels on the outside of the curb. Car bottoms out, gets spat across the road into the barriers. Looks like relatively limited damage. Look at this in the hypermotion camera. The more they go off, the deeper that hole gets. Oh, Jota into the barriers. Off at Indianapolis and hard. Hurst Team Jota, Porsche back in the pit lane after that shunt at Indianapolis. Quick check over. Is it just a nose? And that is a spare from the 75 car. Full service for the Ferrari. This is 51, your race leader. Go. And there goes the Toyota. Number 8 through into the lead, but
Turn the mechanics switch on.
it does look as though the 51 Ferrari is back underway, and hopefully, as we're in the final quarter of the race, that will not interrupt the race battle. Here's your race leader under pressure again, Sebastian Buemi, the number 8 Toyota. Alessandro Pierguidi lost the lead in the pits when the Ferrari wouldn't fire up. He is fired up now, though, isn't he? Look at this, side by side, down the Mulsanne straight. He's just creeping in front. Buemi's coming back. He's getting a side slipstream. He fights it. No. Change of lead, Alessandro Pierguidi. Get in, or whatever the Italian is for that. He takes the lead for Ferrari. Trouble for the Toyota. That's Ryo Hirakawa. Was closing fractionally on the Ferrari, the race leader, and loses the rear end. All three drivers have been complaining about the rear end of the number 8 Toyota. It's caught him out. Hirakawa in the garage. Damage is not substantial. Time lost will be, with only 100 minutes remaining.
I mean, it's been a wild race. We had a really good start. We led some laps, the first ever laps here for Cadillac Racing in Le Mans, so they was kind of proud. And then we had the rain and the night, and you saw a lot of incidents, a lot of cars crash out, but we've managed to survive. And still 2 hours to go, and it's still 1/3 of a normal WEC race, and we see what madness happens in that. So, yeah, we just saw the Toyota have an issue. We can have our own issues. So, trying to hold on there for that podium position.
Number 2 Cadillac back on the lead lap, so 3 cars, the 51 Ferrari, the 8 Toyota and the number 2 Cadillac battling to try and win Le Mans in 100 minutes.
Okay, gap back to the Cadillac is 3 minutes and 18 seconds. 3 minutes, more than 3 minutes. We're okay.
Hey man, the Toyota just left pit lane, so he is almost a lap down. Again, no risk, no risk.
Easily said, harder to do. Grandstands filling, 325,000 fans watching the Centenary Le Mans. There's John Elkann, the boss of Ferrari. The final pit stop and more drama for the 51 car. It's been clean as a whistle the last few stops, but now it repeats its reluctance to fire up. Alessandro Pierguidi aging a decade. Now the car is on its way. He'll head back out and will have the lead in the final few minutes. It's been a tough battle for everybody from start to finish. The Centenary Le Mans has been a race for the ages, and it will have a historic winner. 50 years since Ferrari last entered the top class at Le Mans, they return, they take pole, and they win the Centenary Le Mans 24 Hours. A sea of red, a sea of humanity getting ready to see this. They take the checkered flag, now waved by 9-time winner Tom Christensen. And finally, James Collado and Antonio Giovinazzi can start to believe. They didn't dare breathe. Even on the last lap at Le Mans, nothing is sure. But Ferrari have won. Toyota takes second, the number 2 Cadillac finishing in 3rd place to complete the podium, and all 3 caddies make it to the checkered flag, as do both of the Ferrari 499Ps. The celebrations can start. For the first time in nearly 60 years, Ferrari wins outright at Le Mans. James Collado, Antonio Giovinazzi and Alessandro Pierguidi take Ferrari to the pinnacle.
What an amazing feeling. It's something incredible. I'm so thankful for the team. Whatever happened in this race, I was so proud of them. It's their 4th race, and we've won them on. It's something truly incredible. The car is amazing to drive. It's superb. It really is a dream. You feel that when you're driving it, and thank you to Ferrari.
In LMP2, the tiny Inter-Europol team from Poland claimed victory, although Fabio Scherer drove the final day with a broken foot.
How does it feel to win Le Mans on one leg?
I don't have any words for that. It feels unbelievable. The best day of my life so far. And to win this race and the 100th edition, it's unbelievable. And with this kind how we won it, we were there from the beginning, we were leading the whole race. Then the drive-through came 12 hours after it happened, and we still managed to win. It's unbelievable.
GTE Am, pole to victory. His 9th Le Mans, his 8th different car. Ben Keating takes the GTE Am win. An American with an American car and an American team. A big celebration.
Last night I was joking with my girlfriend, maybe we should go home because we were 2 laps down, but we turned it around, and I'm so proud of the guys. Ben did an amazing job. Nico was outstanding today, so amazing feeling.
Ferrari wins Hypercar. Into Europole, 10th overall, winning in LMP2. Algarve Pro coming out victorious in LMP2 Pro-Am, and Corvette Racing triumphing in GTE Am. And of our 62 starters, only 40 were still moving at the checkered flag. The centenary Le Mans was absolutely brutal. Ferrari's first overall win at Le Mans since 1965. From the 250 LM to the 499P. They are back with a vengeance. In only their 4th race, they have taken the greatest of them all. The greatest of them all hands out the trophies. Tom Christensen knows what it feels like to be up there for the first time and the 9th. But today is all about Ferrari and celebrating the centenary of Le Mans and looking forward to the future.
Voilà, ils vont